4-0, and we'll take it for the Ohio State Buckeyes. They hit the West Coast to begin Big Ten play, and they end a streak going back to 2021, taking down the Washington Huskies in their house 24-6. Was it absolutely gorgeous, absolutely pretty, everything you wanted, hit the West Coast, ready to rock? Absolutely not. A lot of problems to discuss, a lot of good and bad takeaways in our instant reaction to talk about between the Buckeyes and the Huskies. So much to get into in this one. The Buckeyes have a lot of Big Ten play ahead. They've gotten into it. Washington probably was the right start to figure some things out and move forward. So much to talk about. We appreciate you joining us here on the Ohio State Football Report. We had a lot of fun in our watch party. We'll mention that soon. But right away, let's celebrate, baby. Hit that like button. The Buckeyes are 4-0. That was a tough game. Tough place to play. Awkward flight out to the West Coast a day early. You had some troubles during the game that you didn't quite what you wanted to see at the 4th and 1 going for it, and struggles with your QB. You got past it. You got the dub. You are boarding the plane 4-0 to begin the season, 1-0 in Big Ten play. Drop that like to celebrate with me. All right, my first takeaway between Ohio State and Washington, what I kind of saw in this one, the defense saved the day. Offense was slow, couldn't quite get things going right away, had some awkward moments. You knew every single time the defense went out there, they were causing trouble or getting you a stop, and they did it over and over and over until you could really take control of this game. I never felt like the Buckeyes were in trouble, and it is because of the defense. Davis and Igbenogson, you look and you see the 2 zeros there, right? Didn't allow a touchdown, didn't quite have a pass breakup. Those were giant tackles from Davis and Igbenogson. Great coverage today. Didn't let the long, lengthy, big-time NFL draft receivers cause trouble for him. Just did a really good job and made the plays when he was called upon. Kayden McDonald has emerged as a star for Ohio State. Some of these guys had the plays, some of these guys had the stat line. McDonald had the stat line. 7, 4, 2, 3, all over the quarterback. Damon Williams Jr. was uncomfortable, mainly because Caden McDonald was unblocked and in his face the entire game. And as I said, Buckeyes going back out there almost at halftime, scoreless. And because of the defense, I didn't have to loosen my tie at all. I felt all right. I knew the defense would take care of business. You get those solid, show up, do your job, and make sure everything goes right games from guys like Sonny Styles. Again, 6 sacks, no. A gazillion tackles, no. Solo tackles. Controlled the defense, led the defense, made sure that this group was under control, making the difference for Ohio State in a tough environment that when they needed this defense to carry them, guys like Sonny Styles lead. And I will say, I haven't even gotten to the best stats on defense. Just want to make that point, but we will in just a second. All right, get your red pen out and grade this one. The Buckeyes and the Huskies. Man, during our watch party, the grades were flying all over the place. Every letter was being cast around: offense, defense, special teams, getting A's, B's, C's, D's, F's, all over the place. Let us know what you thought by the end of the game. Grade Ohio State in the win versus Washington. A, B, C, D, or F. Jack and JT were a great 1-2 defensive end group for Ohio State for years. It was always going to be difficult to replace them. I thought as a unit the Buckeyes could do it. Then Kenyatta Jakcson struggling out of the gate. I didn't even think Caden Curry would be a starter. These guys finally popped today, both of them. Kenyatta Jakcson, again, stats across the board, but was just in on every single pressure of Williams Jr. every single time, causing problems for Washington. Really called on Kenyatta Jakcson to make the difference here. He was on my losers list when we did winners and losers. Definitely a winner today. And his partner in crime, yes, those are the real stats for Caden Curry. Dominated today. 11 total tackles, 9 solo, 3 sacks, 5 tackles for loss. Jack and JT 2.0 or a different version of those two guys. Kenyatta and Curry finally popped. Look, we had these moments with Jack and JT begging these guys, get the motors going. Make it happen, guys. Why aren't you doing this every game? Please step up. I think we had the same moment with Kenyatta and Kayden, and finally, in this game, both these guys in a tough environment where defense had to really work against a quick, flashy quarterback in Demond Williams Jr., these two guys did it. They made it happen, and it is obvious both on paper and with the eye test in this one. Want to let you guys know this episode is brought to you by Prize Picks. You and I make decisions every day, but on Prize Picks, being right can get you paid. Don't miss any of the excitement this season on Prize Picks, where it's good to be right. Prize Picks, simple to play. Just pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections. If you get your picks right, you could cash in. That's because Prize Picks puts their users first, so all withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. Prize Picks offers Venmo, Apple Pay, MasterCard, and more for quick and easy deposits into your account this football season. Here was our projection from earlier today. You went more with Bo Jakcson, 45.5 rushing yards. Good stuff there. Demond Williams Jr. Buckeyes contained him. We went more, but the Buckeyes took care of business. Jeremiah Smith, plenty of catches. Went more on that one. Glad we did. What you want to do now, check out something like that. Download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, it's good to be right. Ohio State's coaching staff and their players really had 2 weeks to fix the red zone problems. I honestly thought it was a one-game issue. I thought Ohio was the one I really noticed it most. They did not fix them. They did not fix them, and it was obvious. It was obvious against Washington. I just kept thinking, they're getting worse the closer they get to the end zone. They got there, and then they just pivot. Penalties, mistakes, throwaways, sloppiness, nothing just clean, cut, go-to moves, go-to players, just really, really bad stuff. Ryan Day and Brian Hartline talked last week and said we got to put them in a position to succeed, talking about the players. But, man, I think there's just blame to go around. I don't think the play calling works for it. I think the guys seem uncomfortable when they get into the red zone, and I don't think the Buckeyes are taking advantage of the guys they should be when they get to that point. This is a major issue for Ohio State. They have to fix this. You're struggling with this against lesser opponents. Better teams in the Big Ten will destroy you if you have these issues in the red zone. They'll make sure you're kicking field goals. They'll make sure you're throwing interceptions. Something I really want to see Ryan Day and company fix right away, Brian Hartline included, players included. Julian Sands got to step up. Guys have to demand the ball. Figure it out as soon as possible. The red zone is so important for this team. They have to score touchdowns. You know you're getting Penn State, you're getting Michigan. Got to solve it. It definitely is still an issue for Ohio State. What is your one-word reaction to the win versus Washington? Buckeyes are 4-0. They got it done, but once again, there were some moments there where you're scratching your head. You got questions. It's hard to keep it to one word, but you got to do it. Down in the comments section right now. You leaned on C.J. Donaldson. He delivered. I predicted they would have to lean on C.J. Donaldson. In our build-up earlier today, I just really felt like you would need a senior, experienced running back to do the right things for you in this game, and that's exactly what C.J. Donaldson did for Ohio State. Struggling on offense, solid plays. Getting into a red zone where you had major issues, helping them get into the end zone more efficiently. That first drive, bang, 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 right up the field. Veteran, doesn't care about the environment. Fourth-year senior, give me the rock, let him all the way down the field. Just couldn't get that 4th and 1. I feel better knowing that Ohio State has some problems. They can just go to CJ and stabilize things, right? James Peoples hasn't found his footing as a running back. Not Bo Jackson's best day today after he was getting some real hype. But I feel good knowing you have C.J. Donaldson. He proved that once again today, that when you're in tough environments, tough spots, tough moments, go to a senior running back who's been through all this. He'll help you out. Ryan Day did that today, and Donaldson paid him back in strides, playing really well when called upon. Maybe it's Donaldson. Maybe it's somebody else. Who gets your game ball today? We talked a lot of defense. C.J. Donaldson. I thought Julian Sand had some nice moments. Maybe it's a coach you like to give the game ball to. Who gets your game ball for Ohio State? Let us know down in the comments section below. All right. Got to talk about kick returning and punt returning. Brandon Inniss with the fumble today. That was unfortunate, and this has become like a 2 or 3 year thing with Brandon Inniss now. Returning kicks, returning punts. not consistent, fumble issues, bad reads. The Buckeyes are losing yards and today losing possessions because of bad kick and punt returning. My question is, and it's very clear, they're trying to find a solution. Who is the solution? Because we're getting options galore. I noticed today, Brandon Innes, obviously, he fumbled. Bo Jakcson was out there on kick returns. Did you see him? Lorenzo Styles was out there at one point for kick return. What are we doing? Mylan Graham was my prediction to return kicks for the Buckeyes this season. Haven't seen him much. Can he get some time here? And I remember last season, Caleb Downs approaches Ryan Day and says, hey, we're losing yards on punt returns. I'm not being used enough. I think this is perfect. Let me return some punts. Ryan Day agrees. They really weren't getting much on special teams. Returns a punt for a touchdown against Indiana immediately. Caleb Downs, get him back in the mix. You're losing yards. You're losing possessions. You have a real issue on special teams, and I think you have a hodgepodge here that's only making it worse. Why is Bo Jakcson on kickoff return team all of a sudden? Very confusing. Lorenzo Styles, what are we doing here? If you want it on punt return, if you want the consistency, I understand you don't want Caleb Downs taking hits. He's the best man for the punt return job. Let's let him do it. I'll keep our eye on this. This is definitely one of the things you want to be sure to subscribe. We're keeping you up to date on these sort of things, talking about these sort of things. Maybe wondering, why does this guy have a suit on? We were having fun in our watch party. They completed a challenge, everyone hanging out and talking ball, and I ended up wearing a suit today. Had a good time doing it. So if you haven't been to a watch party, if you haven't seen the content we're putting out, be sure to subscribe right now. Well, such an interesting game. Such an interesting game. Its own version of the Ohio game. I don't fully know who Ohio State is yet. I think they have so many more issues to solve. I think we saw things we finally wanted to see for weeks. You know, the Kenyatta and Curry thing. I think as the season goes on, we're going to get more answers. The problem is, are we going to get more problems that need solved?